incredible. We need your help.
Showtime.
So long, boys! You are a toy!
Hi, I'm Dory.
I suffer from short-term memory loss.
It's time to live underneath Paris.
Define dancing.
Dancing, a series of movements involving two partners where speed and rhythm.
Speed. I am speed.
Girls, come on. Leave the saving the world to the men? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry.
So long, partner. To infinity and beyond.
Welcome to Infinity and Beyond, a podcast that has looked back at the works of Pixar animation and is now moving onward to their newest film. We've been building up to this release for 22 weeks, and now it's finally time. Guys, what did we think of Onward?
It was so good.
It was really good. I think now... Oh, go ahead.
Very good.
There wasn't a toe point.
There was.
Got to get that out of the way.
Yeah. I think we have moved onward, and now we are going to the soul of the movie.
Ha ha. Ha.
Well, I won't be using that one.
Yeah, it was on the fly. I'm still, partially half asleep.
All right. Well, do I need to do it then?
Oh,
Oh, what are we doing? Are we
the
doing
recap.
the plot? I'll do it.
No.
Oh, it is Jared.
Who?
Oh. Yeah,
What?
go ahead.
The gosh darn heck are you?
No. Oh.
I'm Daniel Hudson.
I've been Jared Gravely.
I'm Nora Jones. I'm Olivia Weeks.
Wait, who are you now, if you've been Jaron Gravely?
I'm,
I think he was doing a sign-off.
yeah, because this is the last episode.
That's depressing.
Yep, and it was a short one. Good night, everyone. No.
Well, we did say we liked it.
Yeah. You know
Anyway,
what? If this is the last one for now, we got to make callbacks. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
Oh, the first episode, the unlistenable first episode.
I
A whole hour and a half. You're not missing much. Just me and Daniel going, that was good.
Yep. So,
Let's just do pointless and blatant fan service.
what are we? Star Wars?
Well, we did have Cruise McQueen last week.
I still don't understand.
Listeners, we've explained this to her multiple
Like 5
times.
minutes ago.
But I don't even remember what I said, and then there was laughter, and then there was confusion, and then we talked for another hour. I don't know.
Alright, to explain the joke, which is the death of comedy, I know.
No.
Okay.
You said no.
Don't explain it. Let her be confused, because it's funnier that way.
True.
You're so mean to me, Olivia.
Hey, that's a callback to the Brave episode. 2 of us versus the 2 of you.
Okay,
I'm so
that's
glad Olivia was on that episode. Oh my gosh.
we're getting callbacks in. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, things
Olivia,
got
you want to
borderline
argue
hostile
about
in the
Coco?
episode.
Yeah. We're having we're having Mary Berries.
Oh gosh.
Or what are they called? The things you always
Member
say that you don't remember? I don't know.
Member berries.
Oh no.
We're having those.
All right. I think I'll dive into the plot real fast.
Yeah.
This is going to be a
Wait.
light summary because we watched the movie last week,
Mhm.
so it's not super fresh in our minds. But the basic plot goes like this: Ian Lightfoot is turning 16 years old. He lives in a world of fantasy, but all of the magic is gone from it in exchange for modern creature comforts. And another thing that's gone from this world is his dad. Dead parents.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought in a Disney joint?
Not me.
But Ian has decided that his shyness, his timidness, it really's got to start changing. So he sets out to make some changes on his birthday, and he fails miserably. Tries real hard. He almost made friends, and then Barley burst into the scene. Barley being his older brother, who's obsessed with the past and the magic. So they go home for his birthday party, and they find a gift that their father left them. Their mother gives it to them now that they're both of age. And it turns out it's a magic staff and a phoenix gem and a spell that will bring him back to life for one day. So Ian accidentally casts the spell and kind of messes it up. He only brings back part of his father, the leggy part of his father.
Yep.
The bottom half.
So he and Barley decide they're going to set out to get one more Phoenix Gem before sunset of the next day, because that is the only way they'll be able to finish the spell.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to a Manticore's tavern to try and find a map, and they get a children's coloring placemat instead, and it's good enough. Their mom realizes they've left, so she goes after them too. She meets up with the Manticore at the tavern,
Mm-hmm.
and they team up to help the boys because it turns out the Phoenix Gem is cursed, and that's a real bad thing.
Because it turns stuff into dragons.
Yes, it does. But Ian and Barley are completely unaware. They pull over to get some gas, and along the way, Ian is practicing some magic, and he's occasionally getting it, also screwing it up. And in this practice, they try to make a gas can bigger so they have more gas. He ends up shrinking Barley, so they have to get to an actual gas station. Boo-hoo. And while there, Barley accidentally picks a fight with some pixies who are in a biker gang and chase him down. They manage to lose the pixies on the highway and decide, let's not travel on the highway anymore. And they get off the highway, and they're actually pulled over by cops. They disguise themselves as a cop they know, their mom's current boyfriend, Colt. They almost get away with it.
Annoying.
But misrepresentation sees through it, and we'll get to that. But calls Colt, who calls their mom. Barley gets kind of upset at this point because he's learned that Ian thinks of him as a screw-up. But they dance around with their dad for a bit. They feel a bit better. They decide to go on the Path of Peril. In doing so, Ian has to make an invisible bridge to cross a bottomless cavern. Does a pretty good job. Almost fails in the end, but he manages to lower a bridge to get the car across. That's when Colt shows up, demands that they give up their journey and go home, despite the body parts in the trunk. But Ian drives away, and they're almost cornered, but Barley sacrifices his car, Guinevere, in order to block the cops, and then they carry on by foot. They make it to Raven's Point, the point the ravens are pointing at, and they travel down a river in a giant Cheeto puff. They face a few They face a few more traps and dangerous obstacles, including a gelatinous cube, before reaching their goal, which turns out to be the parking lot of their high school. Ian believes that Barley led them astray, and he's just decided he's going to spend the last few moments he can with the only part of his father that's there. But Barley isn't given up yet, and he realizes the old fountain near their school actually has the Phoenix Gem in it. But when he takes that out, the curse activates, and a giant dragon made of debris comes to life and tries to kill him. Luckily, the Manticore and their mom swoop in with a curse crusher. They manage to hold off the beast for a bit while Ian casts the rest of the spell to bring back their dad. But Ian realizes that he has to go fight the dragon, and he tells Barley that he should be the one who's able to say goodbye to their father because Barley has some hang-ups regarding that. So Ian fights the dragon and wins, but he gets trapped and is unable to see his father before sunset, but it's okay. He loves his brother. All right.
Yay.
That was Onward.
Summary, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That seemed
Keeping it in my
pretty
mind.
complete to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, that didn't seem that seemed pretty rehearsed. That was good.
Well, it's not like I have access to Wikipedia.
Are you reading off Wikipedia?
No.
Wait, do you do that every time?
No.
Nora, why don't you like you didn't assume that?
No, I was always Daniel. Wait, really? I always thought you had just like rehearsed this and like you had this summary planned exactly how you wanted to say it, and I was like, gosh, how is he so good at skipping out like the minor details and getting directly to the plot core without going over any other parts of the movie? Like, it is truly a perfect summary, and he always gets it done so swiftly without any hesitation or like any correction. Have you been looking at Wikipedia?
Nora, do you how much work do you think I put in?
I thought you were like some magic wizard this whole time.
He takes notes during like the
This is
film,
why-
and he's like, the plot.
I'm like,
Yeah, I was just watching Onward in the theater, notepad out, writing it down. Kids were complaining about the bright light I was using to see my notepad, and I told them to shut up.
No, I swear, if you listen to the podcast sometimes, every now and then I'll make a remark like, Daniel is so smart, he's like the Pixar wizard, and it's because you always spit things out so accurately and so fast. And now I know it was Wikipedia.
I think it's because Nora hasn't been to college yet. You will soon understand.
I mean, I'm good at presenting on the fly, but I always like add in my own banter, like commentary, and his are always just so like factual and straight to the point, and it's like, wow, that is truly the summary of the movie. I feel cheated.
What did you expect from a guy who likes The Good Dinosaur? I'm just asking.
Brain damage.
I that makes me feel so much better about my summaries now.
Well, I'm glad I could help you, Nora.
Wow, I feel so much better.
All right. So guys, this was a really good Pixar film, I think.
It was really good.
It really was.
Oh, I would like to say that my experience in the movie theater, there was a girl sitting like on the same row as me, and I think her reactions made this movie 10 times better, because anytime the littlest thing would happen, she'd go, oh, no, and then I swear she was crying in the beginning. Like, she was like audibly bawling, and I was like, I feel you, sis. Like, I mean, not that much. Like, it's sad, but dang, are you okay? And like at the end, like, she lost it. I was like, honey, like, but her comments during that movie, like, not the whole time, just like when it was necessary, was spot on. And so,
well, when I saw it, it was my ideal like viewing experience. Olivia and I went to the same screening. We went together.
There was like nobody there.
There was no one there. It was perfect. It was like 1:30 on Friday during the day. No one was there. No loud people or, any anxiety-inducing stuff. It was nice.
Mine was on a Saturday night, and I made my friends come with me.
Mine was on a Saturday afternoon, and I sat between two young kids. They were very well behaved through the whole thing.
Good.
Good for them, you know?
And it was in the fancy theater, too. So I was in a recliner. Yeah.
Fancy theater.
Yeah.
Sat in the fancy theater.
Oh, yeah, we were.
It was very fancy. Our local theater has some theaters, like, inside the theater that are fancy. The others are average. And this movie, because it's a big Pixar movie, was playing in a fancy theater. So you get, like, a freaking Lazy Boy recliner with a tray and, like, a phone charger. And it's one of the most luxurious things I've ever experienced.
It is. They're really nice. And they're so new.
And I bought cookie dough to eat during this movie. I'm not even going to lie.
Did you bring literal cookie dough?
No, I bought some at the theater.
Okay. Because when Olivia and I were going, I was debating sneaking in stuff.
Oh, I
didn't bring anything because I didn't want to have to use the bathroom.
No, I don't normally eat during movies, but I don't know. I just got cookie dough during this one, and it was nice. But I do have a friend, and his sister brought a whole chicken nugget tray from Chick-fil-A in her purse to a movie.
Awesome.
She just whipped it out.
I used to do that. I used to like get chicken nuggets and I'd put them in my purse.
I love that.
And I'd be like, "Hey y'all, I brought some chicken nuggets."
No, I'm talking like the whole tray though.
Those are expensive.
Okay. Actual question. When was the last movie you saw that you had to go to the bathroom during?
I don't go to the bathroom during movies. If I really have to go, I just suffer through it.
For me, it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In fairness, that was 2 hours and 40 minutes. I had to go once.
No, that was a movie with some toes in it.
Actually, I think maybe I went to the bathroom. Yeah, I did during the last Star Wars movie. I think.
Oh, that's why you didn't understand it.
No, or maybe I didn't. I don't think I did. I don't know.
I'd rather pee myself than leave a movie.
Oh, no. Maybe, okay, I just remember it was an action movie. Maybe it was John Wick. I don't know. I just remember they were doing the same thing because it was an action movie. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. Something like that, though. Something where I wouldn't miss anything because they're still beating each other up.
I think it was Infinity War the last time I had to. Granted, I don't go to a lot of movies.
I don't know. But this movie is really good. And guess what, Daniel? I actually know some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So do I.
Well, of course you do, but this is my moment.
Let her have a moment.
I mean, not everything. Just some interesting factoids. Oh, God. If you want me to address them.
Well, while you're looking those up, because I can hear typing keys.
That's not me. I already have my
probably me because I'm like pulling at my my keyboard cover.
That was very rude. I already have my facts memorized. This is not a lie. Okay, that is not me.
Yeah, it's me. I'm sorry. I have a problem.
I'm insulted.
Well, before we dive into like behind the scenes stuff, we should probably talk about the actual movie.
He's just threatened because I know the information now.
Okay.
Truly.
Do you have the information of your thoughts on the movie?
Oh dear.
Keeping us on track.
Yes.
I think we should discuss the characters first because that's
I
the best place to.
loved the character designs.
Oh yeah, those were cool.
I find that interesting because so many people were complaining about the character designs for this one.
Well, you know what? Their opinion is trash.
Oh, Queen! queen.
The character designs are so beautiful, especially just like everybody's dynamic and everything. The fact that an elf is dating a centaur.
That centaur is so annoying. I did not enjoy his character at all in the slightest. I don't even remember his name.
Colt.
His name was Colt Bronco.
Yeah.
Colt and the Pixies were the worst. They were my least favorite parts of the movie. Ugh.
Anyway, I liked
Okay.
the elves design and the manticore's design a lot.
Oh yeah. I did not have an issue with the character design. Was it my favorite? No. But did I think it fit the movie, like the theme and general surroundings? Yes. And I thought the designs of the characters stayed very true to the characters themselves. One of my research facts, Daniel, is that Barley was actually designed specifically to be everything Ian would naturally despise, like everything that's outgoing and personal was intentionally designed in Barley, so I thought that was a nice touch. Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Nora. Yeah, they made good design choices on that front.
Character development was good.
Ian does look like Linguini had a baby with Remy, though.
Oh,
he
my
does,
God.
but you know what? It makes sense because his dad had a big nose, so genetic.
Oh, yeah. I liked looking at that because I thought Barley looks like his mom and Ian looked like his dad. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good detail.
I thought the character development was really good.
Yeah, I thought the character
Really good.
development, like the character design, definitely isn't like the best Pixar has ever done, but
crap.
I enjoyed it. No, I love the character development. Their mom is thebomb.com. She is fabulous.
I love her.
She is a great
She was
mother.
voiced by Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld, and I am a Seinfeld fan, so
Oh my gosh, she
I
was.
appreciate that.
I just realized that.
Yeah.
But no, she was really cool. She was really good at being a single mom. Like, you could tell she really cared about her kids and she did the best for them and did all she could possibly do. And
They
she was
bucked a lot of trends with her because she
Yeah.
was a single mom who was being a pretty good parent. Like, she already has like a relationship. She's moved on from the death of her husband. And also Colt, I mean, he was an antagonist, but he wasn't like an evil or horrible guy. So
Yeah, he
was
cared
pretty.
about the boys.
he did not care about the boys. That's what got
He
him
did
out.
not care about the boys.
That's what like made me think, okay, you should not be with him because like he does not like your children. And
he likes Ian just fine, and he doesn't like Barley when Barley makes life difficult.
Come on, y'all. He hates Barley.
it's like toxic. I did not. I mean, he wasn't like some awful person, and he seemed to be good at the end when they were all happy together. But I don't know. He didn't click.
If there's one thing I've learned about you, Nora, it's that once you've decided you don't like something, nothing changes that.
That's not necessarily true. Y'all change my opinions.
Cough,
a
cough,
lot.
Wally, cough, cough.
Okay, but y'all changed my opinions about Wally because I liked it a lot more than I originally did. I used to just hate that movie. Now I have some respect for it. I'm sorry it was at the bottom of my list, though. It shouldn't be. It is. It shouldn't be there, but it is. I also think it's funny that it's there because I'm hilarious.
Well, one note on our main characters. Gosh, I couldn't hear anyone other than Chris Pratt and Tom Holland talking the whole movie.
Really, I was really impressed with how they took on the characters because I was afraid that would happen, and it did to an
Okay. There was one moment where Ian was talking, and I think I whispered to Olivia. I was
Yeah,
like,
there was
here's
only
Spider-Man here.
There was
He
only
like,
one moment.
oh yeah, I don't know, Mr. Stark.
There was
For me,
only
it was
one
the
moment where
other way
he
around. Like,
sounded like Tom Holland. All the other moments, I didn't even notice it.
No,
It was too prevalent for me.
really.
Yeah, I only heard Tom and Chris. I
I
feel
think
like I didn't get to meet the characters Ian and Barley in a way
Oh,
because
I
of that.
didn't get Chris
Interesting.
Pratt at all.
Well, what's funny is that when I got home from seeing that movie, a friend of ours was over, a friend of mine, my brother's over, and I was like, "Oh, I saw Onward," and I was like, "You guys probably like it because they're into D&D and stuff." And he was like, "Oh, is that Tom Holland and Jack Black?" I was like, "It's not Jack Black."
Jack Black would have been good.
No.
You probably would have, yeah.
I love
Has
Jack
he
Black.
been in a Pixar movie, come to think of it?
He was in
No.
Kung Fu Panda.
That's DreamWorks.
And Shark Tale.
DreamWorks.
He's a DreamWorks boy.
Speaking your language, Olivia.
Y'all. You remember when I told you I liked the fish from Shark Tale?
Yeah.
And y'all were like,
Smith
Olivia,
fish.
come on. No, the Lola fish.
Yes, the
Okay,
horrifying looking Uncanny Valley one.
Yeah, we were in improv club, and we were trying to get someone to guess the movie, the character, the turtle from Finding Nemo. And we were doing everything we could, and they were like, I know. Shark Tale.
No.
Ugh.
That's an insult.
What I find genuinely funny at mine and Daniel's alma mater / Olivia's current school, in the library of the school, they have a whole selection of films, many of which are like Criterion Collection, very important films. But yet, for some reason, they also have a copy of Shark Tale, like, on the shelf with all those prestigious movies.
You know what would have been worse? If they were like, I know. It's flushed.
Oh, flushed away.
All right, hang on.
I should have videoed it. It was really funny. We were trying to get them to guess who it was, and they're just like, from the movie Shark Tale? We were like, there's not a turtle in Shark Tale. Is there a turtle in Shark Tale?
I
No,
don't
there's
remember there being
fish
one.
who runs a sushi restaurant, aka a cannibalism
I
restaurant.
genuinely do not remember that movie that well.
Oh.
I love that movie, kinda.
But back on to Onward, I think that's unfortunate that you can only hear Tom Holland and Chris Pratt Daniel, because I was like afraid of that when I heard they were voicing it. I think I even told you all that, and I did hear them, but I think I got so caught up in the characters I had the opposite reaction that I really just didn't hear them. And even if I did, I believed their performance was so genuine that I got caught up in that instead.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
The performance weren't genuine or anything. Like, they weren't bad performances.
Oh no, I'm not
Their
saying you didn't
voices
think
are
that.
just... And, like, Chris Pratt has done animated voices before. He was Emmett in the Lego movie, and I don't hear Chris Pratt when I'm watching that movie.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Yes? Oh,
I'm
the
not
podcast is on.
Hello, podcast.
Emily's here.
Oh, I know who that
Emily.
is.
What?
Hello.
Hello. It's been a
Surprise
minute.
guest.
I'm not gonna.
This is the final episode. We gotta do cheap and blatant fan service. Remember
Yeah.
that character who fell asleep during a couple episodes ago?
Me?
Me.
Wait, what?
No. I was making a joke about cheap fan service.
Oh. You want to join us? You came to me with Onward. Emily was one of the friends I forced.
It's bad.
What?
I'm sorry. I should have texted you. I've already heard you too much. I'm really sorry to leave you alone.
You know people want to hear
I
this. Do you want me to put you on mute? I will be right back. Keep talking about Onward. I'm gonna put myself on mute for a second. I mean,
Nora!
I'm coming. Hold on. How do I put
Oh,
myself
those
on mute?
two.
I'm so sorry.
How do I
I'm
put
so
myself
sorry.
on mute?
I need Nora.
Where is
Nora,
mute?
Nora,
Microphone down.
Ah!
Okay, there we go.
Keep me for dramatic effect.
Wait, can you hear me? Hello?
Daniel.
Hello?
Daniel.
Okay.
In the
Yes, sir.
edit, can you add the Eric Andre "We'll be right back" thing?
Like,
I might try to.
Yeah. Brr, 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 brr.
So,
and then it just cuts to us.
Oh,
And then
she gone.
And when she
Shouldn't
joins
just-
back. then
yeah,
when
she
joins
just
back-
outright left.
Okay,
So, this movie was definitely inspired heavily by D&D. Like they've been pretty open about that.
Absolutely.
But even
In fact,
stuff
the
like
gelatinous cube is a thing like directly from D&D. They had to like use the copyright for it, which I find funny.
well, there was even stuff like the levitation spell only has a range of 15 meters. Like that's such a D&D thing.
Yeah.
Well, Olivia and I were in a D&D campaign about this time last year.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
It
Her
was
character was chaotic evil, an elf. My
I
character
actually-
was literally...
Jaren, we had that one D&D thing together. Remember what my character did?
Oh no, what did you do?
Olivia, I have to tell you the story. Or maybe I should save it for when Nora gets back. Should I save it?
No, tell me. No, tell
She
me.
just texted the group chat and said, I'm coming back in like 2 seconds, so sorry.
Well, considering her last 2 seconds was like 10 minutes,
Just tell it.
no, I'm gonna wait.
No!
But anyway, yeah, the D&D influences were pretty apparent. But I feel like
But I liked how they said that, you know, the D&D related game that he was playing to pass his time was based on like real life.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love
It'd be
that.
the equivalent of playing like a historical...
Yeah.
I love that Barley can like just give off this energy of just being like this total slacker who's more into fantasy, but because that's also history, he's like a history buff and like he cares about protecting
one thing
what
I
happened.
wanted to say the whole time was that I liked how it would seem like in this kind of thing that Ian would be, you know, he's obviously shy and like not really nerdy. He's shy and awkward. But you'd think he'd be the nerdy one, and Barley, being the kind of the big older brother.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Nora.
I'm sorry. Nora, I also saw Onward.
She did also see Onward. I'm so terribly sorry.
Oh my goodness, is this a crossover episode?
Jaren, you
Here
can keep
comes a
going
new
if you want.
chaunter.
Let's go.
No, she did see Onward. Any opening opinions for Emily?
Chris Pratt was amazing.
Talk closer.
Chris Pratt was amazing.
They were just talking dirt about Chris Pratt.
What? I love him. He's the best actor I think ever.
I wasn't talking bad about Chris Pratt. I was saying I liked him.
It was
when you
Daniel.
that's when you say your opinion is trash.
Your opinion is trash.
Look what I'm training her to be.
Oh, now I have to say it at one point during this episode because continuity.
Okay. Well, Jaren, you can keep going with what you were rolling with.
Oh, anyway,
so
so
sorry.
I particularly enjoyed how it seemed as if, you know, you would expect Ian to be the shy, nerdy introvert, and Barley to be like the kind of dumb, you know, big older brother. Whereas Barley was very smart and insightful, and also, like Olivia said, was obsessed with history. I think he even got called a history buff at one point.
I said it.
Yeah,
Wow, way to
whoever you are.
discredit Daniel.
I don't know.
Either way,
I love
When I first saw it, I didn't think that Ian was nerdy. I just thought he was socially awkward.
well, that's what I'm saying. You would expect
No.
they subverted my expectations. Look, I said the thing.
I didn't expect.
I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, because I got really excited for it at the end, and I was kind of skeptical of the whole concept at first, because I was scared it would come off cheesy, but it was so heartfelt and genuine, and I was not expecting to like Barley as much as I did, and it made, after thinking about the movie more, I realized how much I like him. I think I relate to him a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
They did a really good job at keeping Barley likable. Like he could have easily gotten jealous about the fact that Ian could use magic and he couldn't, but he never did.
He was,
I was
so
afraid that would
excited and like hyped him up the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when push came to shove, like he always chose Ian. Like when Ian didn't want to take the path of peril, when he had to sacrifice his car, the one thing he wanted to do with his dad that he had planned out was show his dad the car, and he gave that up so Ian could keep going.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah, Barley's a cool dude.
No, yeah, I really love Barley, and also shout out to Guinevere for being the real OG.
For real.
The best van. Emily, be honest with him. Just text him how you feel. Sorry.
What are we in the middle of here?
You don't want to know.
I don't.
Like I'm
I
back
swear
to
I
high
don't.
school. I know, it's very high school-y. I'm so sorry. I'm just portraying Ian's everyday life, guys. I'm helping you get into the scene.
Oh, hey, one thing I like is that neither of them had love interests.
Yes.
I like that too.
Emily liked that too. I don't know if you heard her.
I'm sure Daniel liked it as well.
Yeah, I mean, this movie didn't need that, so...
I know, exactly, but it could have easily had it.
Could it have easily had it? Would they have shoved a love interest, like, as part of the journeying group?
Maybe, or like...
They could have a love interest.
I don't think it would have been easy. Like,
Emily,
there may...
stop whispering your comments and just come say
I mean,
them.
for either of the boys, like, the boys.
Yes, but there was a love interest.
Well, yeah.
Be nice to him.
She could have easily been a single mom.
Okay, fair. At least it's not like the first Pixar movie where they could actually render a dad.
But yeah, this time the no dad thing. No, see, this is a mark of Pixar's progress. In the first film, they couldn't render a dad, and this one, they could render half a dad.
You stole you stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Let me just say, I said I was gonna walk out if there was a tap dancing number. There was not a tap
There was a
dancing
dance
number. There was a dance number, but it was so beautiful and I loved it. And
It worked too.
The
Like,
band starts
he was
playing.
such a bad dancer.
He was,
Emily.
and it brought them together. Emily, you've
Emily,
got to say your louder. You're a smart person.
I'm here.
Come
Emily,
on.
did you know about the whole tap dance thing?
That she would leave.
I briefly mentioned
She
it
said
to
it,
them,
yeah.
because I felt like they should know if I walk out of the theater, that would be why.
Yeah, because I said to Olivia, there's a whole thing about either a toe tap dance.
No.
Well, they do
What
tap
I
the toes.
No, he's lying. This is what I was informed of. I was informed that there would be toes shown. And we got
Olivia
into
thought she was going to
theater.
a Tarantino film.
We got to the theater, and one of the first things that was mentioned were his socks. So I was like, they're not going to show his toes if his socks are the point.
No, I just meant like if he pointed his toe. But I really like the direction they went with that the dad wasn't just like able to hear everything and communicate.
Absolutely, that was
They
good writing.
they portrayed that severed body pretty realistically, I feel.
Yes, and I
Pretty
was
realistically for a severed body.
Listen, I was very happy with that.
Yeah, they could only play footsie with them pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was here.
And he could feel the vibrations of the music and dance.
Yes,
Yeah,
see,
that was clever.
Very genuine to me.
I feel like the top half of the body, in air quotes, was also pretty well done. Just all
when they
the bags
put
they
a
got like that.
jacket on him
I
and like
have
a toboggan.
I have something really random that I liked a lot.
What?
What would that be?
I liked how Ian's cheeks were always blushed.
Oh yeah, because you called him blushing baby boy Ian.
It was so funny to me. I was like, he's so cute.
I thought it was an interesting take about how they did their whole universe, and that was part of my little research that I can talk about later if you want me to. I'm proud of myself. But with how it was kind of a magical element, but it was so modern, and they didn't necessarily focus on that so much. But it wasn't like no one believed in magic because it existed.
Yeah, because it was history.
That was okay. That I kind of had an issue with it because I wish maybe they embraced it more somehow. Like it was still used somewhat in some way because I felt like I wanted more of it. I thought some of like the references they did in the background of shots, like I don't remember what they called, but like Magic Pizza Parlor or something like that. Like I would read those. They were really funny. But I
got really excited over a couple of Lord of the Rings references.
Yeah.
The fast food place, the Science, is now serving second breakfast, and I like kind of giggled. I don't giggle. I chuckled about that.
Yeah, I guess that was the whole point, was that it was modern and magic wasn't a thing anymore. But I wish somehow there were elements of it twisted into everyday life of how they did things.
Okay.
Maybe magic was like a precursor for electricity, or.
I do feel it works very well for this film.
It does.
So, like, just on a thematic level. So, this world's past is, in a way, romanticized because it used to have magic, now it doesn't. And likewise, like Ian and Barley's past is kind of romanticized. Their dad used to be alive, now he isn't. So they kind of marry that by having, the past magic being the thing that can bring him back, in a way.
Okay.
Just
this kind of relates to that, but I know that they didn't do it for like a reason, because they wanted to keep the dad a mystery until like the very end and everything, and only Barley and his mom really knew about him. But I would have liked if there was like a flashback to when their dad was in college and why he got into magic.
Yeah.
Well, they said why he got into magic.
It's this whole big thing of like, well, where did he get this staff? How did he get
he didn't get into magic until he got sick. That's when he got into it, was when he was sick and he had the time for it. That's what they say, at least.
Yeah, but like, how do you get the stone? How do you get the staff?
I think
that's not important.
It seemed like the wife didn't even know anything about it.
Yeah, it's not important how he got it, though.
It's important to me.
No,
How does that improve the story if we have a flashback about how he got?
Look, that's what I'm saying. The movie didn't need it, but it would be nice to see and watch.
Well, no Coco Part 2. I refuse. Okay, no, I think it's important, but I think it was meant to be vague because Barley and Ian aren't supposed to know. And I think the wife isn't even supposed to know, because I think it was something the dad was seeking out to do by himself. And I'm imagining it was because he was sick and he wanted to make an impact in their lives later that he wanted to do on his own, is how I thought of and interpreted it. So I think it was meant to be, you're not supposed to know. You just know that it was something that intrigued him later on in life. And that's where they are now, because he wanted to leave a legacy with his boys to see them again.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with wondering why it could be, because that's like a very valid question. It's just, I agree with the choice of leaving it out.
Oh no, I said I know why they left it out.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to know why.
Yeah, I just think that's why. I think if you put too much of that information in there, it fills some of the void of the boys wanting to know more. And yeah, I would say that's why. And I think it's because it was something the dad kept personal. I would imagine because no one really cares about magic as much anymore because everything's modernized. So it probably wouldn't be something the dad would make super public. Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
That was my interpretation anyway. But please, no Coco Part 2s.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we're not getting a sequel to Coco, so don't worry.
You know what I mean, Daniel.
Sorry, I'm sleepy.
Well, this will wake you up. How about I
Awake.
tell that D&D story now?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've played D&D like maybe twice in my entire life. I've enjoyed it both times, but I've never been able to keep it together with a party. But my first time ever playing, Jaren was there. We had a whole group together. They'd been playing for a while, so my character was like being introduced to the group. And I decided I'm going to win their hearts and minds by making them pasta. However, I'm in the middle of a town square. I don't have any cooking material on me. I just have a bunch of pasta in my satchel. So I use a spell. I use a spell that summons a 10-foot cube of water. Middle of the
You did that.
So I just summon that above my head, and I throw the pasta in there. And then I use a spell that summons a 10 square foot wide pit of fire to slowly cook this this giant cup of water with barely any noodles in there. And I do that until my magic runs out, and I give the soggy, not cooked at all noodles to the party, and I'm like, here you go.
Yep.
Wait, why is this something I would do in real life?
Because it totally is. I almost forgot about that campaign. Yeah, that was at Liz's house. Hey Liz, I don't know if you're listening to this. I doubt you are, but you helped make my time at insert university name here 10 times more bearable. I love you. I hope you're listening to this.
Aww. Emily also said aww.
I heard her.
Okay, good. Wait,
can you hear me from right here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You might need to clap up a little bit.
I'm so sorry. Well, when I listen back to the podcast, I can barely hear myself. So I felt like she was not heard and that her opinions were important. Okay, they did not need to hear that. Did y'all hear that?
No.
Okay, good. See? Emily, disgusting.
That is like wet.
Stop. Oh.
Anyway, that was my D&D story. I just wanted to get that off the chest.
What?
Because I thought it was funny.
What was?
The thing
Oh,
that
the pasta?
He sounds like a pescatarian.
What?
What is happening?
Could you hear Emily then?
Yeah.
No.
She said he sounds like a pescatarian.
Daniel, pescatarian.
My brother is pescatarian.
That's why I was getting the vibes.
Well, my character in that campaign was actually a pastafarian, so.
Oh, you're right. You were.
Do you only eat pasta?
Nora, there are things in this world that exist.
Wait, pastafarian?
Pastafarians.
Yeah.
They're followers
we're
of
living
giant spaghetti monsters.
in a society.
Wait, that's not real.
Nora, look up Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yo.
What?
Yo.
Look it up.
Yo.
Or tell Emily to look it up real quick.
Olivia, what is it?
Emily, look up Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Anyway, onward. Back to the
Someone
movie.
cut their paper towels into 3 rolls.
I'm sorry, Emily is not available to look up. What am I looking up? Pastatarian?
Pastafarian.
Cult.
I'm just gonna send it in our chat.
I know the meme you're talking about.
Flying Spaghetti Monster, Wikipedia.
Now who's on Wikipedia?
Darren, it was due to your recommendation, so I need you to calm down.
Darren didn't even say that.
That was Daniel.
I meant Daniel, and I need y'all to back off.
While you're reading up on some new religious propaganda, onward.
No.
Hey.
However,
So,
in the United
going
States,
into this.
A federal court has ruled that the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster is not a real religion. I wonder why.
Anyway, so going
Sorry.
into this movie, we knew Dan Scanlon's first film with Pixar was Monsters University, a film with perfect comedic timing.
Yeah, and one thing I kept thinking throughout this, it reminds me of Monsters University.
It very much does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was as funny as that film.
No, and
I
one
do
of my
think-
complaints, which I wrote about in my Letterboxd review, was that I think it could have been funnier.
They probably
What?
could have squeezed in more jokes. They probably could have used the world for more jokes. There were some nice
Yeah.
background elements, like when they were walking in the magical field and you just see a plane overhead.
I don't think they
Yeah.
wanted to, though. I think they wanted to keep this movie relatively serious.
Yeah, I feel like this one just has a tighter screenplay than MU, and that probably
Yeah.
constrained them. They couldn't do as many jokes.
I was really okay without too many jokes. I liked that it was more heartfelt, and you really relied on the connection of the brothers throughout the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, if
Two
it had more
brothers.
jokes, that would be great too.
All two brothers.
Huh?
Nobody gets my reference.
I didn't hear
fine.
it.
I
It's
didn't
just
hear
called Two Brothers.
No, I still don't get it. The Hardy Boys?
All right,
Sorry,
Nancy
what's
Drew.
They're two brothers.
Jaron, don't watch the show that I am referencing. It's okay. Don't
Two
even
brothers.
trip.
Two brothers.
Is
Emily.
it a Breaking Bad reference or something?
My mom said absolutely not.
I don't know it either.
So, so we're moving on. Yeah, you want to know something real good about this film?
What?
The lighting.
Lighting was good, but this film has the first ever
Oh God.
LGBTQ plus person in a Disney film. Apparently.
Oh,
Apparently.
Emily has comments. Emily
The
has comments.
seventh.
So
First,
actually, there were two. It seemed like there was at least an ally because the other girl in that little friend group had a pin, and then there was a lesbian cop. But both of them were toes. Like they were the type of people that had the toe head. So like, I don't know what the message was with that. However, they both had short hair, and I was like, stop stereotyping lesbians. But it's fine, no problem. I appreciated the gesture. What is it? The gesture?
The effort.
Yes. Yes.
In
Also, thank you, Pixar.
quotations.
We're getting it, baby.
Also, they like shoved it in there too. She was like, "Me and my girlfriend."
Girlfriend.
Prom the musical all over again. Do not force LGBTQ. Yeah,
You
don't
know,
So
they could have easily. I'm sure in the like Chinese version, they cut that right out.
Oh, freaking. Well,
this movie has been banned in 4 Middle East countries because of that one line.
That's ridiculous.
Beauty and the Beast got cut out because of Josh Gad's gayness.
Really?
Kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
One part
So-
of it. Well, other parts.
Really?
So apparently, this was actually not like an original part of the film. This was something that the actress for that character just kind of did that day, and they decided to keep it.
Okay.
Oh, so it wasn't even their decision.
It was their decision to keep it.
Just like y'all, we don't have enough time. Just put it in
They're
there.
like, just keep it.
Look how
claim
much
it was
good
our
press
idea.
we'll get.
That's probably what they were thinking. They were probably like, oh, we don't have enough time, and I think this will be good for us.
But really, they did just shove it
How
in
could
there.
they
Like,
not
you
have
don't-
enough time to just use one of the other takes?
Lazy.
No, they
We
kept
live in
it
a
in because
society.
they decided they wanted to keep it in. I'm just saying. It was the actress who originally introduced this element, from what I understand.
It's just so like I appreciate them having representation. It just doesn't need to be thrown in there just so bluntly. Like, why can't we just see it happening with no unnecessary commentary needed? Just
And the freaking.
just let it be
Just
natural.
have a lesbian. Like, why does she have to look like a toe?
Oh.
Oh, Mitch,
There's your
it's no
toe.
Mitch. It's no Mitch, that's for sure.
Straight
But like the two like people who represent
She
people
does-
like toes.
She doesn't look like a toe. She looks like a thumb.
One of those
And the
Spy
pin-
Kids thumbs.
thumbs from the
I think the three older ones also don't know what that is.
I'm so sorry I have brought this memory back to you guys.
Wait, what did you say? I didn't hear it.
I said she doesn't look like a toe, she looks like a
Looks
thumb.
like a thumb.
Oh, you mean
And then I
Spy
said
Kids?
she looks like one of the thumbs from Spy Kids.
Yeah, I watched Spy Kids, Jared. You were literally only 6 years older than me.
So the
I
lesbian
grew
cop
up
from
on Spy
Onward
Kids.
is a
I am
thumb
not
thumb.
that young.
Is that what we're
Wait,
getting?
Nora,
This conversation?
Jared's 6 years older than you?
Yes, but I'm not that young. I grew up on Spy Kids, y'all.
I'm 4 years older than her?
Yes, and I played your older sister. It was weird.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, this time around in One Last Shot 2, you're playing her younger sister, so even though you're
Emily
taller.
wanted you to know, Jared, that you're 7 years older than her.
Okay.
If there was
An infant. You're so young, Emily. I don't want to touch your tongue. What is wrong with you?
So we were talking about the comedy in this movie. I do have a number one joke, if I may. The rock dragon's face.
That
Yes.
I was waiting.
I
Oh
knew it
my
was
God,
coming
that's
once
so
they
funny.
came back and they showed the dragon on the school side again. I knew it was coming, but it
Yeah,
was still
That was a
Okay.
Chekhov's
Perfect.
gun.
Is it weird that I felt it from the beginning of the movie? Like, okay, I know this is crazy, but the second I saw that dragon on the side of the high school, I thought that is like too funny at looking of a dragon to not be used
They're
later
going
on.
to use it,
And
yeah.
it's too blatantly like purpose there. So I was ready and I was very satisfied.
I was ready for like the mascot of the school to do something, but instead we had the mascots at the tavern. That was
Yeah.
still good.
The
By
tavern
the way,
was great. It was
Yeah,
like
the tavern was great. It's basically this world's Chuck E. Cheese. But can we talk about Corey, the Manticore?
Yeah.
She was great. I loved her.
She's amazing.
Yeah. I wish
The
they did
freaking
more with her. To be
scorpion
honest.
sting she does to the pawn shop owner.
Oh, that was really funny.
That was great. That was just amazing.
No, really, I wish they
Like-
did do more with her, to be honest. I don't know how, but I felt like her and her mom's journey could have been expanded outside the car. Like, once they started flying, like, that's what I wanted the whole time. I wanted to see them go on, like, some separate journey somehow. I don't know how.
Well, not really possible.
Oh, and I have a question. I have a question. I
It is
I
good.
asked Jaren this while we were watching the movie. I was like, wait, if the Manticore knew where the Phoenix Stone was the whole time, why did they drive across like the whole freaking state
That's what I'm saying.
to go find it? Why didn't they
She
just
only
drive
had the
by?
map. She didn't know where it was.
No, but the thing was, she had a huge
map.
she had a huge, what revelation that she's not living her life right and she needs to go back to being adventurous, but then she spends half the time in the car.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, that made no sense to me. I was like, okay, great, you know what you want to do in life, and you're in the car. You're
Well, I
in
mean,
the car. You're not being adventurous. You're
So are Ian and Barley. They're in a car, and that's not an adventure?
Yeah, but they took an
yeah,
adventurous
but they're
route.
going and they're doing stuff. They're just sitting in the car.
Until they fight the rock dragon.
Yes, but that's
And
the thing, and
also-
that's what I'm saying. That's what I want. I just wish there was more. of it.
They did that, though. You got what you wanted.
But I wanted it the whole time. It just seemed like they built her up, and then
And then she fought a rock dragon.
yeah, eventually.
Not really.
Not really. She really did not do much.
She cut off its wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ian did the rest.
it was the mom's freaking Zumba that.
Yeah.
That was also great. When her
That was
Zumba
great.
came into the soundtrack,
Yeah, the
she
80s.
stabbed its core.
workout.
I am a mighty warrior.
That was pretty good. But
No, I'm just saying, I think the Manticore is such a cool character. I wish they had used some of her specialties and techniques continuously throughout the movie.
She breathes fire in the tavern. She uses her scorpion sting
Yes,
on
they
the
built her
helicopter.
up
She
there, and they should have
flies.
kept going. There was a
At
lull.
the end of the film?
Listen, Daniel, it's my
I
opinion.
I'm not sure. Like, I'm not.
Like they
I'm not
built
sure
her up, and they're like,
what.
oh, she could do all these things, and she used to be this super mighty, amazing creature, and now she can't even use her wings to fly. She can't even. She's just sitting in
And
a
she flies.
at the
Eventually.
very end for like
But
what?
it's after
Like
she's made
0.2
that
seconds.
revelation, and she's like, I need to change my life. And then it seems like she's kind of like, nah. And then the mom has to make her. And I'm like, well, that kind of defeated the purpose of the tavern there.
The mom didn't
Well,
have
at
to
the
make
very
her. The mom just
least-
had to get her away from the cops.
Yeah. Manticore, that got me. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was.
Uh,
Again, pretty funny script.
Yeah. I really liked just the visuals in general.
That's what I was going to say next. The landscaping animation was beautiful.
Very
Yeah.
pretty film.
There was, I
And
don't remember what. Sorry.
The score was nice.
Yes, the score was very nice.
Who
Sorry,
did
I'm
the score for
talking
this
really
movie?
It was the same guys who did the score for The Good Dinosaur, which coincidentally I really like the score for The Trash Baby.
It's my trash baby.
Thank you.
Get away.
Oh no, that's not my Trash Baby.
It was Jeff Dana and Michael Dana. I think they're brothers.
They did a good job. Hats off.
That
to
is
you fellas.
thematically appropriate for this movie.
Indeed.
No, I
Sorry,
really
I'm
like.
talking.
I wonder if one of them did Ian's theme and the other did Barley's theme.
That's what I was
That
gonna say.
would've
I really like what
been-
they did with Barley. I liked the whole Guinevere.
I like
Gadsden
seriously
rock
want to
part.
read an interview from these composers and see like how they did this. I'm very curious now. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm being quiet. My throat hurts because I was at rehearsal
I'm
all day,
fighting
directing
with
and
you.
acting.
well,
Guys, I really liked Barley.
Yeah,
Barley was
It
good.
was cool.
I didn't think I liked him as much as I did until I started thinking about it.
They could have so easily made him the dumb one.
But they
And
didn't.
he was kind of the dumb one. He accidentally
was.
picked a fight with pixies. Why would you do that, Barley?
He didn't mean to.
Fairies.
Those pixies were annoying. I'm sorry. They were
Yeah.
really annoying.
They
I didn't
seemed
like
like
them.
DreamWorks or worse yet, Illumination knockoffs.
They really got on my nerves. I was like, okay, this whole fight scene is so unnecessary. Like, I know it led to other things, and it wasn't necessarily, like, unnecessary to the plot, but them getting angry was just ridiculous. And
I thought it
Well,
was
the
kind
problem
of
with that is that it just lasted a little too long. Otherwise,
Yes.
it's fine.
Oh, hey Emily, if you're still there.
she is.
Anytime I think this is dumb, every single time my mind goes to that song.
I think this is dumb. Let's just get along.
Rocking it. Let the kids play on.
I'm sorry for doing my Joker laugh again. It's just proof that we're living in a society.
Oh.
Jaren for next Joker.
No, I want to be Batman. I'm the Batman.
You can be both, and that'll be the story.
It could be all about the dichotomy between the two, and like the Joker's only a projection of Batman's mind that's falling apart.
Let's get Matt Reeves on the phone.
Or I'll be Nightwing. Hey,
Matt Reeves, if you're listening to our podcast, cast
the-
Jaren as Batman and Joker.
I don't want to replace Robert Pattinson though. Seems like a nice man.
Yes, I haven't seen Cosmopolis. Anyway,
Hey, there's a very specific thing I was going to say. There wasn't a villain in this. There was an antagonist. There wasn't a villain. I like that.
Are you kidding? The gelatinous cube obviously masterminded everything.
Just you wait, and oh, hey, now I know what I want to talk about.
I can't remember who it was. It might have been me. I think it was. Emily started laughing when the gelatinous cube came out. Yeah, it was me. And I yelled, "The gelatinous cube!" in the movie. I was very happy. I really was starting to get scared it wouldn't show up, and it did. And it showed up so perfectly.
Yeah. How are people...
That was you! Emily related to the gelatinous cube.
Like, out of all the characters, I feel like that one called to me. And it was just perfect.
Queen.
How are people going to slide this into the Pixar theory?
Well, obviously this has to be after the future of the monsters.
I remind you of the Manticore?
Yes.
Why?
You're wrong. And you're female.
I'm nothing like the Manticore.
Fly.
I can fly, you're right.
Oh no, you and Jaren are those two boys.
We're Ian and Barley?
Yeah,
Wait, who am I?
you're the mom.
You're our mom. Who's Daniel? Who's Daniel?
You can be the dad.
The dead one?
I'm all like,
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, no. I have come to the conclusion that everybody on TikTok is a complete idiot.
How
Yes.
recently did you find that out?
Well, like,
Okay, that was mean. I'm sorry.
people are just like stupid.
Yeah.
This is a
I
tangent.
know.
Guys, I rubbed off my glitter.
Glitter.
She was practicing my Lumiere makeup, and by she, I mean Emily, and I rubbed it off on accident, and now it's everywhere because
Aw.
glitter doesn't go away, it just migrates.
It's like Ian with the ink.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I felt for him. I was like, ooh, honey, stop talking.
That was
I
that was a rough one.
I was awkward
That was
when I
rough
was his
one.
age.
Just kept getting it everywhere.
I know.
Did anybody else feel like the beginning was slow?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
slow beginning.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it wasn't necessarily like a problem. I just felt like it was slow, a little bit slower compared to the pacing of the rest of the movie. And not even just like action-wise, just detail-wise maybe, but it wasn't
takes its
necessarily a
time.
bad thing.
It does set up a lot of stuff in that beginning, though.
It does. Like, it's necessary. But when I was watching it, I was still skeptical about how good the movie would be in the beginning because of that. But if I rewatched it because I know what it leads up to, I think
Yeah,
it
you know,
perfectly
real
the way
quick, thank goodness the movie we spent 22 weeks building up to was
It was
good.
actually good. Yeah.
Yes.
We put an unnecessary amount of pressure on Dan Scanlon, and he delivered.
Well,
Delivered,
I
yeah.
was very skeptical. I was ready for it to be. I was scared of the toe point, guys. I really was. I know I joke about it. I was genuinely scared that bottom half would somehow be able to hear them and communicate and try to do some charades, and they'd make some really corny bit out of it, and it would just be a bunch of like jokes about half-body dad.
I guarantee you, if this was an Illumination movie, 100% would have happened.
I guarantee if it was an Illumination movie, it would have been terrible. So.
But
Yeah.
no, they took it such a good way, and it was beautiful. And some of my background research explained why it was so heartfelt and beautiful the way it was. The end.
It's pretty thematically appropriate that it's only his legs, because the only one who has like memories of him was so little when he passed away that probably doesn't have too many memories, or he probably would not have like experienced much of his dad's upper half. He probably would have been crawling around on the floor near his.
Correct. And
The-
the thing.
That was cute. The moment Barley said the fourth memory was crushing.
Dude, I know.
I feel bad because all I heard was Chris Pratt, and he was talking about a family member in the hospital about to die that I couldn't say goodbye to. And
I was
it
thinking
was
that
Guardians of the
too.
Galaxy. I was like, oh, this is Star-Lord. This is Star-Lord's origin story. This is Star-Lord.
No, I didn't feel that because I don't know. I guess maybe I connected to the situation more, but
I mean, I did too, but granted, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my favorite
I've
Marvel
never
thing.
seen
And I'm not even that
Guardians
big
of
on
the
the
Galaxy.
I'm not particularly big on the MCU anymore, but Guardians is like my thing there. And,
I don't know. I was really
yeah.
invested in this storyline of
Mhm.
Onward.
Yeah.
It's not a bad, backstory bit. It's very good, especially for the climax. I heard Chris Pratt talking about that, and I'm like, Star-Lord. This is Star-Lord. It took me out just a bit.
I think I feel bad that that's what you got out of it because I feel like that's probably what happened for a bunch of people too, and I think that's unfortunate.
Well, like I said, there was at least one moment where Ian reminded me, like, I was like, this is literally just Spider-Man.
No, and that's like totally understandable. Like they're very big voices that are.
So I don't watch Spider-Man, and I don't really watch any movies that Chris Pratt is in, so I didn't hear any of them.
You know, I'm always surprised when Tom Hanks does Woody that's not what everyone else thinks, because it's Tom Hanks. You know what I'm saying? I've always thought that was so strange. No one's just like, oh, it's just Tom Hanks. But I don't know what he does. You didn't know Tom Hanks is Woody? Emily did not know Tom Hanks played Woody.
Now that I think of
Really?
it,
Yeah.
My brother said that
There's
the other
something
day.
about Tom Hanks being Woody. You just don't think about it.
Like, because he doesn't change his voice.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's just how
it
it
is
sounds.
about Ian and Chris. Not Ian. Shoot. What's his name again?
Barley.
No, the Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah.
Tom Holland.
Another Tom H.
Pratt. That because they've had big celebrities voice before. That it's so distinct about them. I guess because they're just so relevant right now. And Tom Hanks is, but they're really pop culture, I guess you could say. Like, even on social media everywhere, you hear their voices. I don't know. I just always think that's weird that it somehow that happens with some actors and it doesn't for others.
Yeah,
Well, as we've
I can't help but feel like if there were just two regular voice actors as Ian and Barley, that I would have been able to lose myself in the movie a bit more.
Yeah,
Emily agrees.
Emily agrees.
I love both of them, and I could see their faces doing it, and that made it harder. But I don't know. I love
to appreciate
One
it.
thing I noticed is that they had.
Tom Holland. And I was like, he's 40 years
Really?
old. Because he was just so much older, and then he was hugging the mom, and I was like, he's an old man.
So, like, you didn't even see the animation.
I mean, I loved it, and I'm glad. I think they were a right choice. I just think I've watched too much Chris Pratt.
Yeah, see, I think they're, like, a right fit for the characters, too. I think they portrayed them well, but it was an issue. Like, really.
Yeah, I have a lot of the same problem that I have with, like, Kristen Shaw. She's like the voice of Mabel, Gravity Falls, and like anytime I hear her in any other piece of media, like Trixie in Toy Story, or Sarah Lynn on Jack, or in Bob's Burgers, like I just hear Mabel now, and it's so distracting.
Really?
And the thing is, that's her actual voice, her real voice.
Yeah, it is, and it's not like she's not bad at all. She's great. It's just I've watched so much Gravity Falls.
I'd be hearing the children from Adventure Time.
That's right.
That's also true,
She's really everything.
She's in a lot of stuff.
I love her though, so I never have that effect because whenever I hear her voice, I'm like, yes, the queen is here. And also, her character on Bob's Burgers is so different from Mabel. I never hear it.
Well,
But
yeah,
I do.
she's
saying.
a
It's
very
'cause
different
her voice-
character, and
Yeah, but
Sarah
no,
Lynn
it's
is a
'cause
very
her
different
voice is
character, and
so
Trixie's a
distinct.
pretty different character. It's just
Well, the guy in Frozen
Oh.
2, the other guy who shows up, excuse me, sorry, his voice played Jason Ritter, the voice of Dipper, and I just heard Dipper
Mm.
because I love Gravity Falls. It's like
I
maybe my
love
favorite.
that so much. Oh my gosh.
I think it was the first thing.
You're Grunkle Stan? You are
What?
not Grunkle Stan. Emily said she was Grunkle Stan. Jaren already claimed that.
No, I didn't.
Oh wait, no,
I
you
thought it was
didn't.
more like Dipper.
I said you were Dipper. That's right. There's what unicorn? Mabel's unicorn. Emily is the unicorn on my shirt because I already claimed Mabel.
We probably are different, maybe.
I'd be Wendy.
Oh, sorry, no.
You
Emily claimed
would be.
No, I said Daniel was Wendy.
What?
Bruce.
I don't know how, and I don't know why. I just feel it in my soul.
Daniel does kind of give off some Seuss vibes.
Yes.
I love
No,
Seuss. He's
He
my
gives
favorite.
me Wendy vibes. I can see Daniel in like, I don't know, a flannel with his long red flowing hair. And
He doesn't.
This doesn't sound anything like Daniel.
I know. I just feel it in my soul.
You've seen Daniel in real life before.
I know. I just want Daniel to be Wendy. I don't know why. Wait, I know who Daniel is. You're Uncle Stan's brother.
Yeah, Ford.
Ford.
The other
You are
Stan.
You are so Ford. Oh my gosh.
All right, now that we found our Gravity Falls counterparts.
Daniel's not having.
No, he's not. I'm sorry.
He rarely ever does.
Well, he's like our referee. He gets us back on track when we're being idiots. He's very.
This is
good
only the
for us.
movie we've spent the whole podcast building towards. I just feel like maybe we should talk about it. We've been doing
talk
pretty
Talked
good,
about it a
honestly.
bunch.
Like, we are doing a good job talking about it. Don't get me wrong.
I also feel like it's our last one in the series.
Can
so
we
gotta
talk
have some
about it
fun.
faster? Because I'm really hungry.
You're hungry.
You know, if for nothing else, I feel more energized because you guys called me and woke me up. Listen, I didn't
Nora
sleep
fell
last
asleep
night.
yesterday. You fell asleep today. But we had to
sleep
record
last
eventually.
night, and I had a 7-hour rehearsal today. So
We were supposed to have rehearsal today, but it got canceled because of the coronavirus.
no. I was hoping someone would never mention it this episode.
It cut on that time.
Sorry. But really, and our show might be canceled because of Corona, but you know. Also, I can't play soccer till April 3rd. Actually, after spring break because of Corona.
Our show was canceled.
Yeah. At her college that we can't name.
Yeah, college. I am a schoolgirl from School University. That's a Gravity Falls reference.
Okay, what are we going to talk about Onward? Let's see. Does anybody, I know we just saw it, but does anyone have any emotional connections yet?
Yes, I
mean-
cried.
Yeah, she did.
You have
Yeah,
a
I
crush
think
on
most
who?
people connect to wanting to meet somebody who you never got to meet. I know this one's very
I
personal.
connect
Dan's
to it in that
family.
way. I had a sibling connection to it because both my brothers are like 6 and 9 years older than me. And they were like never there. And so like I vividly remember when I would go into one of my brother's room and like I would go to hug him, he'd be like, "Olivia, don't touch me. I hate you." So
Oh no.
and then I remember he would run away and he would come home and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm just home to get like a pillow. Bye." So I really appreciated that they did like a brotherly movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I felt it a lot because I'm a big brother. I have 2 younger brothers, And there's a certain little dork who's a lot like a little sister to me. So
Oh my gosh, it's me.
it is. So I know how it felt, you know. And also, I'm really close with my dad, and like I can like talk to him about anything. And so like, what?
Oh, nothing. You were not supposed to hear that. Keep going.
Okay. Anyway, where was I?
Fathers.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm using my real voice. I hate using my real voice.
What do you mean?
What? You sound the same.
You sound the
Sometimes
same.
I'll like kind of deepen my voice, make myself sound more interesting and mysterious. But when I'm just talking, I'm using my real voice. When I'm
You
talking
sound
about
the
things
same.
I care about.
Be confident in it. You sound fabulous.
Okay.
Be the queen
Cool.
that you are.
Thank you. I'll do
Now
my
keep
best.
talking about your deep emotional connection.
No, there it is again. Sorry.
Stop it.
Anyway.
Be real.
Okay, I'll be real. All right. What I'm saying is, I understood a lot as an older brother / sort of surrogate older brother, and as someone who's very close to his father, I felt like it was kind of a special movie that we don't really get a lot of. Everyone's like, "Oh, Frozen, it's the sister movie," and that's great. That's awesome. But
Right,
I'm
I
glad we
have a sister.
I'm glad we have a brother movie this time around.
Yeah.
Good old brothers.
Good. Now they need to do a brother-sister dynamic so that I can live through it.
Daniel, do you
We'll
have
get that with
siblings?
Connected. I have mentioned my sister on this podcast before, I feel.
I don't think you have.
Yeah, sister?
I don't think I.
You have a sister?
I'm fairly confident I have mentioned her before.
Maybe
I
not
thought
with
you were about to
us.
say- I was like about to say, I'm fairly confident I have a sister. And I was like, you know?
Does she like movies?
She enjoys movies a good deal.
Is she older or younger?
This is starting to become an interrogation.
I'm curious because like the dynamic is different.
Wait, do y'all have similar personalities or like polar opposite or what?
So Onward is a pretty good.
Wait, is she
Wait,
younger?
we
or
want to
older?
know.
I'm nothing like my brothers. We're very different.
Really?
Yeah,
Maybe
they're more like they're more outgoing and stuff.
Oh, that explains why I'm your fake sister.
So your brothers are Barley and you're Ian.
Probably.
I'm Barley, heck.
I'm neither. My brothers are neither either.
I've met one of your brothers.
Yes.
Every time I see him, he acts like
trouble.
he acts like he knows me
He
way
lives
more than he
with
does.
Jared.
He's like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going? It's been a while." And I'm like, I mean, I kind of know you.
Jared, no.
So he really is Barley.
He's not Barley. Oh my god, trust me.
That's something I would do. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Also, I just remembered that scene where he has the rope tied around him
Mm-hmm.
and it falls off.
Oh, that was an anxiety scene.
That was so scary. I was dying.
I felt so bad for Barley. He was tearing up
I
with
know he
fear.
was like, crap.
But he just had to
like, "You
keep
still got
encourage
me, right?"
Ian to
And
keep going because if he stopped, Ian would think something was wrong.
Yes. He's like, "You still got me, right, Barley?" He's like, "Yup, you're doing great."
Great, but
Just don't turn around.
He was like, "Just don't."
I wonder if that's a reference to older cartoons because they
Yeah,
only
geez.
fall when they like both no longer believe they're on solid ground. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Oh, they do that.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that. That they only fell when they realized they weren't. But that's true. They do. They do that bit where they like run
Yeah,
and
it's
then
a
they like
big
freeze.
thing in Looney Tunes. I wonder if that whole sequence was inspired by stuff like that. I don't know.
I think of Roadrunner when you say that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That poor coyote. Steven Universe's tribute to Roadrunner.
That was good.
Poor Peridot.
I need to catch up on Steven. Daniel and I were talking about that last night.
I was telling you I was watching an episode today.
Olivia, did you spoil it on the group chat? Were you talking about Steven Universe?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, it came out
I
like
really appreciated it.
January.
Wait, I didn't see that.
Well,
Okay.
don't go looking for
I'm
it.
not going back.
Luckily, there's like
it
70
came out,
new
like,
rushes.
January.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you this.
I thought y'all had seen it. Y'all talk about watching it all the time.
Listen,
So I got home.
I haven't had time.
It came out like January 1st, I think.
I have not had time.
The three of us were in the throes of Hamlet during then.
Oh yeah.
4 of us. Emily, are you still here?
She is, but she's not in this room.
Okay.
She had to excuse herself. She sends her love though.
Okay.
I just thought she fell
No,
asleep.
but I didn't know I was spoiling it. Y'all might like Olivia.
Yeah, that was rude, Olivia. Rude.
Look, I really thought y'all had seen it because I even looked at the date before I sent it. And I was
Olivia?
like, I can't be spoiling it.
Olivia, your spoiler is trash.
Should we have done a spoiler warning for this movie?
Okay.
No.
Oh, yeah, because it's
I
still in
feel
theaters.
I feel like if it's an hour and a half review of a freaking movie, they should know there's going to be spoilers.
I'll put some text stuff at the
Spoilers.
beginning,
Because-
just so people are aware, because...
No, but technically you could you should put spoilers in front of all of our videos then.
Y'all,
I'm only saying that for this one because it came out a week ago.
There were
Yeah.
full
Yes,
movie reviews even before the movie came out.
Mm.
Because that's the one I watched.
Mm. Yeah.
So I don't think you should put a spoiler.
Alright, fine, we'll just be dicks.
Yes.
That's a naughty word.
Language.
Not approved.
Guys, you remember what I said last week, right?
You
think this
don't
is
have
changed.
to say it again.
Anyway, Onward. I kind of thought the title would be a bit bigger aspect of the movie, but they could just kind of drop it randomly. O for Onward.
I did not think it was dropped randomly. I loved the subtle use of it. I love it when there are subtle titles that you have to catch the meaning of because they have a deeper meaning than they're really suggesting. I was totally okay with it.
I honestly feel like this movie has the one-word title problem that a lot of movies have.
Okay.
Or at least a lot of animated movies.
I cannot have the Brave discussion again.
Oh dear.
I
Here we go
like
again.
the title. We're not discussing the title. We're skipping
What
that.
else? What else would you have called it though? The Great Leg Quest.
If you want to know what this argument sounds like, just go watch the Brave. Not watch,
Yeah,
but listen to the Brave.
Just call it Never Skip Leg Day, and there you go. No.
Oh, Daniel, you.
Oh wait, they should have called it the bottom half.
They
That
could
would've
have
been
named it
pretty
like one of
good.
their names or something.
But it just feels like a lot of animated movies are just kind of constrained by that. Like, you know that movie that's coming out, Connected?
No.
Eh.
I have, like, that was originally
Oh.
called The Mitchells versus the Machines, and that just feels like a much better title.
I like the
But it
dramatic
feels like
one word.
I like Connected. It sounds better than that.
I mean, it's what you feel. I just think a lot of animated movies have been kind of forced into that ever since Tangled, and it's kind of a bummer.
That only came about because they were going to call Tangled just Rapunzel. but they thought that boys wouldn't go to a movie with a girl's name in the title after
Especially
Princess
after
the Frog
Princess
bombed.
Frog.
Tangled is such a good movie.
I know. Don't get me started. I love Tangled. I cry every time I see the light happens.
And at last I see.
Oh no! Here they come. Here come the tears.
to that version.
I'm goofing on you, dude. Nice
Wait,
sing that
I was
karaoke at
gonna
the.
Some of these animated movies don't have one words. Like there's
Well, yeah.
Missing Link.
Oh, don't get Daniel started.
I liked Missing Link.
I still haven't seen it, but
Oh,
I
no.
want to just because
I
of
wanna see
Daniel's
it.
review on it.
Same here.
That's
I
like
cannot give enough praise to that movie review video Daniel did. Like that was so good. Dang, I should say more comments, not intending to mean them to feel like you need to post more. Because I said, why you call it Danny Hudson? It's a Pixar channel, and he was like, it's not a Pixar channel. I need more videos.
There's a Despicable Me, Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph.
A Bug's Life.
well that
That's
the bugs
that came
kind of
before
way before
Tangled.
the whole one word thing.
Monsters University.
I mean, based off of previous things, so they're not going to do a one word there because they need the brand.
Megamind, one word.
You can look these up all day, or we could talk about on.
Hero 6.
They could have just called it Toys.
You know what? If Toy Story came out today, like if the first one were, it probably would just be called Toys.
I don't think so.
What if they just called it Woody?
That would have invited so many porn parodies.
Daniel, be good.
No.
Woody.
We're at the hour 30-minute mark. What little kids are still watching?
Woody.
They leave in the first 10 seconds. They're like, new video.
Oh yeah. Well, correction. Actually, I said I still hadn't listened to y'all's first podcast, but that's not true. I skimmed through it. So
Please don't.
I did.
It's not very good.
Jaren's humiliated by the fact that we called a movie good for an hour.
Y'all sounded very happy and jolly.
Wait, what was the first episode?
Toy Story.
The first one.
No,
Because
but
we went in order.
Y'all seemed so happy and you were bantering back and forth. It was quite adorable.
Yeah, because we had both slept. And in this one, Jaren's kind of sleepy.
Yeah, well, let me explain.
Not
So I got
sleepy.
home from 7-hour rehearsal, and I am very tired. So I sit down. I'm like, I'm gonna nap. I forgot to set my alarm. So I'm in the middle of a dream about the podcast, mind you. I'm not kidding.
I find when I don't sleep at all, I'm really energetic.
Yeah,
And then my phone starts ringing, and it's Olivia. And I'm like, huh?
I'm like that too, Olivia, and I think it's because I program myself to be just because like I've done it so much for school, like pulling all nighters. But yeah, all week I haven't gotten much sleep at all, and today I was supposed to have an all-day rehearsal, but as I said, it got canceled. So I was so lazy today because last night was like when I got to sleep, but then I woke up at 1 a.m. and panicked and like freaked out because I fell asleep and we weren't able to record this, and I felt awful. It's bad.
I'll tell you this. This has been the week from HE double hockey sticks.
Y'all don't even know this week. This week has been so bad.
Hell is not a cuss word.
I was doing a joke, Olivia.
I don't care.
Because my whole
Pixar
thing is
movies
language.
have used hell before. It's fine.
It has been the week from the bad fireplace.
It's really been bad. It's really been bad. But that's okay because it's bound to get better.
I hope so.
I really hope so. I feel like we're on the same energy wave, Jaren.
Yeah, I'm just tired physically, emotionally.
Yes.
I'm on the
Yes.
hungry wave.
Everything you're saying is so accurate. Olivia, please go grab a snack and treat your body. It deserves it.
Oh, Olivia and I went for Chinese after this. We saw it. There was like nobody there.
Yummy.
That was where I messaged my professor about my group members. They all failed.
Okay, do we have anything left to say about Onward?
I'm
It's good.
disappointed the legs never did a split.
I am.
You know
Sorry.
what? Me too.
No,
Their dad was so cool. He should have been able to do a split. Just
He was
saying.
he was like the daddest dad, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and I did like that, even though Ian didn't get to meet him, at least he did get to see him.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of tragic. It was beautiful though, and it should have been that way, but
I really liked the conversation Ian had with the recording of his dad.
Mm-hmm, that was really sad.
That was great.
That was when the girl beside me started crying.
I knew it was early on, and it was buffered by a lot of other stuff, and like we were talking about how the first part of the movie is a little slow, so I can understand.
Yeah.
But I didn't want a podcast to end without having mentioned that at least once.
Yeah, I also like how the checklist was continued and made such a crucial factor at the end of the movie because it was so negative to him in the beginning and it was about to be negative again, but it turned his whole mentality around.
Kind
I
of
guess you could
remind me
say
of the
he
adventure
could.
book from Up.
No, hang on. I got a horrible dad pun.
Do it.
Chekhov's list.
Ha 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 ha.
I don't get it.
Only me and Dan.
All right, sing us out.
Wait, we still have things.
You were about to wrap up.
No,
Final thoughts.
I don't want to go.
Wait, I don't have final thoughts. I have research.
Yeah, Nora, hit us with
The
your
girl do
research.
research.
Okay, listen, children. Don't be super impressed because it's not that much. But and we've said a lot of it. But as you know, Dan Scanlon is the director, and the producer who at first I didn't know she was the producer, Corey Ray, because when I was looking up interviews and things, she was always in interviews of this, and I was like, who is this talented lady that is not getting credit? But she is the producer, and they've teamed up and worked together. And they started working together on Monsters University, and that's how they came together with this film is very based off Dan Scanlon's own personal life and losing his father at a young age. So much of it was related to him, which really explains a lot about the seriousness of the script and how it was so heartfelt and accurate. I also thought one thing that was funny was literally there was one interview where the guy straight up asked him, so why do all the parents die in Pixar? And like he didn't sugarcoat it, like he just said it blunt. He was like, why are they all dead? And like it was a serious question, I guess, but it was just fun. I thought it was funny the way he said it. And Dan Scanlon handled it very seriously, and he was saying how he thought it was important to show how a family can function when it seems dysfunctional, and that a lot of kids do unfortunately go through this, but that there's other ways to rely on one another to grow. So I thought that was really nice, and you could really see it in the movie, because that interview particularly I watched after the movie, and I really agreed that's very nicely how they showed that. Also, with the production of this movie, the ending from the very, very beginning was the one thing they had. They pitched multiple storylines and like other things, but it was always two brothers that had lost their father, and the ending was solid. That's how they wanted it to end, and I really agreed with that. I thought the ending was beautiful. It was strong, because personally throughout some of the movie I thought, wow, it is Ian's journey, but he is a little self-absorbed in some aspects, and so I thought by the end he really made a turn, and it was very moving and very well done.
Hey, I gotta go real quick. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll continue talking.
Okay.
I already mentioned this in the beginning, but Barley's character design is specifically made to, as what would annoy Ian, what would be everything against him, because they are supposed to be such counterparts, because Barley is intentionally made to, as we know in the end, be the father figure that Ian didn't even necessarily know he had, and be the thing that encouraged him to break out of his shell and do more things. And this is just a side comment. I think when Barley explains his fourth time seeing his dad and how he's connected to the tubes, and how he didn't get to say goodbye to him, and how he realized that he wasn't going to be afraid anymore after that experience, it was short, but it was a beautiful explanation to Barley's every move and character decision. I know maybe it like might not have been as crucial of a moment to other people, but I really appreciated that moment and loved it. And let's see, what else did I look up? They went back and forth about the magic in the world a lot. They at first were thinking no fantasy at all, and I think there was a while in there. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I just totally lied. There was always a fantasy element. They just weren't sure how they portrayed it. Sorry, I've got a page up just to fact check me, just in case. And but I'm trying to remember everything I looked up. But no, they always had fantasy involved.
Wikipedia?
No, it's not Wikipedia. No, they always had fantasy involved, but I'm not reading off of that anymore. But they went back and forth about how they wanted to do it. And I remember they were saying that because the movie was solely Ian and Barley, they kind of more involved it in the adventure side of the world as they keep going. Because, as you see as the movie progresses, part of it becomes more fantasy as they are going on their journey, and it just kind of fit to each character. And I think they said it was like a 70% realistic world, 30% fantasy, because they decided in the end to make it more modern. And I think, even though I sort of had some complaints about that, I thought it was a nice tribute to show how their dad found a way to fit the magic and light into the world, even as he was passing away and trying to pass it on to his sons in the now modern world. I thought that was a nice idea. I thought they conveyed it well. It was nicely done. Trying to think if there was anything else. Shoot, I knew there was. There was. I was watching another interview between the producer. What's her name again? I have her name pulled up because I keep forgetting it. Well, I can't remember what it. Corey Ray, and Dan Scanlon. There was an interview I was watching, and they were saying how that the ending of the movie was always final. It was just the bits and adventures of getting there they weren't sure of. And apparently one of the biggest controversies they had making it was the Manticore. That's how you say it, right?
Manticore, yeah.
Yeah, the Manticore scene. They had so many ideas for her, but they weren't sure how they wanted to do it. And they weren't sure how they wanted to present her in the tavern scene specifically. I'm not sure about the rest of the movie, but I could kind of see that. I could see there being like a lot of ways to go with her. You could possibly go with keeping her as a dungeon-y master kind of place, or keeping it light and keeping people how she is now. So I thought it was interesting to hear that was the scene that they struggled with specifically. And that was all. That was my research.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Daniel, I was hoping you'd be proud of me. I
Very
hope I
proud of you.
filled your researching needs.
That was really good.
Thank you. I finally learned after all the podcasts and followed Daniel's influence. You have taught me.
You did good.
Thanks. But yeah. Also, I liked watching Tom Holland and Chris Pratt in interviews, and they were talking about whether or not they had played D&D before when they were asked about this movie.
I feel like
that's
Pratt
an appropriate question.
probably definitely has. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
they both had. I don't really remember what. I think Chris Pratt had later on, maybe college. I don't remember. I'd have to go watch it again. But they both had.
Have you ever played it? Because I know the three of us have. The other three.
Yes, I have. I've played it twice.
Cool.
Wait, played what?
D&D.
Oh
I
yeah.
have like done a campaign where you go back to. I had one we haven't finished the campaign. And that was my very first time playing it. And the second one was a very short campaign, and it ended horribly, where we were all enslaved by the evil person, and one of us, we were all. There was another person that was actually evil and corrupted us all, and we were all screwed, and we had to go and kill people for all eternity because we became their mind slaves or whatever. It was bad.
And I made pasta.
And you made pasta.
I sang because my character was a bard who was a hybrid of David Bowie and Tim Curry.
Yeah, after his first character
I
died.
remember you sang everything.
My first one, I was a cleric, and then the second one, I think I was a halfling.
I was an elf.
Or I was either an elf or a halfling. I might have been an elf.
Everyone goes with elves.
My second
Even this movie goes with elves.
Oh yeah, I did not know they were elves until they said they were elves. I thought they were ghouls.
I thought they were goblins.
Yeah, like I thought they were goblins or ghouls or something.
Okay.
I love that the unicorns are like these rabbit
Feral.
Raccoons
I
are
thought
just
that was so funny.
unicorns in this world.
I literally thought that was so funny.
Apparently, that came about just because Dan Scanlon was doodling one day, and he just doodled a unicorn in a dumpster.
Yes.
And they decided that was funny enough to make it a part of the movie.
Yes, absolutely. Well, okay. I've said what I needed to say. I just wanted to say my research. And also, I thought this movie was beautifully done emotionally. I'm not saying we have to close out. I'm just satisfied with my comments that have been made.
Me too.
Well,
Are you satisfied with your care?
We have been talking longer than the movie now, so
Yeah,
Dang.
you're not
it would
wrong.
be time to play us out.
Oh, do I get to sing us out?
Yes,
What
you
are we
do.
singing out?
Only Nora sings.
Yeah.
I
That's her
sing us
thing.
out now because I realized everyone had a thing. Jaren said, "Who the gosh darn heck are we?" Daniel did some cool introduction that I thought was rehearsed with his summary. And
Well, what's my thing?
you can beatbox for me.
Oh God. Okay.
Do it.
We singing though.
I'm singing. I sing the outro.
Yeah, but I don't know how that goes.
We make it up on the spot. That's why it's beautiful.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a tune. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, no.
No,
Okay.
beatbox
Nora, are you
whatever
ready?
want.
Are you ready, Nora?
Yeah, I'm ready. Give me that beat. Onward. It was really cool. Emotional climbing, yeah, and stuff. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt were the main characters, and their voices were in there a lot. Daniel didn't like that, but that's okay. And this is our last episode. Hooray! It makes me sad, but that's okay because we'll do more movies anyway. And I'm singing about one last time, and I'm looking for a specific rhyme, and I shouldn't ask for you to beatbox because now they're realizing that I'm a cringy rapper. The end.
Yeah.
All right. I've been Daniel.
That was great.
Thank you.
I've been Jaren.
I've been Nora.
I've been Olivia.
And thank you for being on this journey with us.
I'm gonna
We have
cry.
gone to
so bad.
infinity and beyond.
Oh my gosh! Stop it.
So long, partners.
Nora's just like having a breakdown.
Next time in several months, a movie that's good for the soul.